I'm Ashley,
And I'm Jasmin.
and you're tuned into Ham Radio Stranger Things podcast.
It's a ham radio.
The Cadillac of ham radios.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of Ham Radio as Stranger Things podcast. We've got a great episode for you today as usual, but first, we have a little housekeeping to take care of, and I'm going to turn it over to Jasmin to let you know where you can find us on social media and where you can listen to the podcast.
Thanks, Ashley. You can find us on Instagram at Ham Radio Media, all one word, on Twitter at HamThrough, on YouTube at Ham Radio Media, or using our handle Ham Radio 1983. We also have a Discord you can join, which is linked in the description of this episode. If you have a fan theory or question you want to share, you can email us at hamradiomedia@gmail.com. Ashley also has a fanfic on AO3 entitled Stranger Things College, which is also linked in the description. The podcast is available on all major podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and much more. If you like the show, please consider leaving us a rating or review. We have a lot of totally tubular stuff coming up, so be sure to follow us on social media to keep up with the podcast and all of our new content.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Hey, folks.
Yeah,
We
we
apologize
did
for the latency. Definitely technical difficulties on my part.
Do we have the updated link to share with people?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
In the words of Jim Hopper, I am not an engineer, folks. I do not get paid. I am just in my little room, in my little hole, having fun. You know, even though I almost had an existential crisis, for real, I'm like sweating because I'm like, this is really bad. This is really bad. But I will know if we ever do a live stream again to only schedule one stream and not two.
All good. We got it.
Yeah.
We're sharing out the
Awesome.
link right now too.
Awesome. So, folks, we don't want you to be deterred. You can still send us in your questions, comments, concerns, theories, whatever you would like to share in the new link. Again, we apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused, but we should not let that deter us from why we are here, and that being Stranger Things Day.
Yeah.
Yay. And for those of you who may not know what Stranger Things Day is, in universe, it's November 6th, the night of November 6th, 1983, is when the day a boy named William, aka Will Byers, vanished in the night. And then it kicked off probably one of the best TV shows on television currently. But what made this one so special is that it's been 40 years. Like, if this were in real life, it would have been 40 years ago today. Like, probably right now, Will is biking home from Mike's house as we speak. So
That's true.
That's right.
yes. And so we decided to do a live stream event because it's such a monumental anniversary event. And originally it was just going to be Jasmin and I, but I thought, why don't we try to get some of our favorite Stranger Things podcasts together and all talk about Stranger Things Day and the show in general. So thank you guys for taking the time out of your Monday on a time-changed weekend. Okay, that's right on the East Coast. The time just changed yesterday. Work was terrible today because I kept thinking, well, I'd be like home by now, you know?
Yep.
So we do appreciate that, folks. Looks like we do have someone already in the comments. Let's see. Gary, not Klein, the mayor swine, says, Gary is checking in to tell us that it's the day that a boy was kidnapped by a Gorgon And we're celebrating that fact. Yes, we are, Gary. Yes, we are. And you seem like such a nice man, much better than Klein, the mayor swine.
Yes.
All right. So for, Robin and Damien and Scott have been on with us before. We've been on with them on their podcast. But for Amanda and Marina, you have not. So what we like to do is we just like to, ask you, like, when did you start watching Stranger Things, and what influenced you to?
Well,
Take it away.
yeah, sure. Yeah, so I started watching Stranger Things pretty much when it came out in 2016. I am not a TV watcher by any means. I pretty much only watch The Office and Stranger Things as my two forms of media. So everything I watch, I have to be forced to watch. So my lovely aunt forced me to watch Stranger Things with her when it came out, and here we are. So if you're out there, aunt, thank you for sending me here. So that's when I started watching Stranger Things. And Marina, do you want me to talk about how we ended up starting?
Sure.
Okay. We just ended up starting the podcast after season 4 came out because we were just talking and talking and talking about it, constantly, just texting back and forth theories and kind of thinking into things a little more. And then one day I just happened to say, why don't we start a podcast about this? And then we did. So that's the whole story, pretty much.
Awesome. And
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Gary
100%.
says that he is not a swine. He promises. That's good to know, Gary. And then Mary says, "You're welcome, Amanda." And that's your aunt's watching.
That's awesome.
Hey, Aunt Mary, we're glad to have you.
We are glad to have you.
Wow, that's adorable.
Yeah, so why don't we just take a few moments to go around the room and just briefly introduce yourself, name and what podcast you're coming from.
Ashley, can you see if you can let Starcourt Foodcourt in?
I can.
Joined by another guest.
There we go. Cameron.
Yeah, there you
Hey.
go.
What's
Hello,
going
everybody.
on?
How are y'all?
Yeah, so Cameron, thanks for joining us. We were just going around the room and giving brief introductions to ourselves and our names and what podcast or account we're coming from. And for you, since you've never been on our podcast, if you could, just tell when you started watching Stranger Things and kind of what inspired you to start your fan account.
Yeah, so it's quite a tale. So I met the co-creator Jacob. We met around in college. We were taking a Spanish class together, believe it or not. And we had gotten to talking, and we first bonded over sports. But slowly but surely, he left the class, and then we transitioned into the pandemic. And so we're basically holed up in our room, not able to do anything. And so he was like, "Hey, have you ever watched the show Stranger Things?" I'm like, "No, I've heard of it. I have heard good things, but I have never watched it." So I was like, "If you think it's good, I'll check it out." So I checked it out. I actually came over to his house and we watched it. And I was like, after the first episode ended, he looked at me and he said, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Play the next episode now." And after that, I was hooked. And then we watched pretty much all 3 seasons. I know we watched the first season together, and then I watched the next 2 by myself. And I watched it record time. And after that, we kind of started talking about it and how much we loved each individual season and its, crooks and crannies. And then finally, we were just like, let's make a fan account. And so we made one, and here we are, 4,000 followers later, which is a lot. More than we ever anticipated. We didn't think it hit that big, but here we are, 4,000 followers in, and I'm more in love in the show than I've ever been, especially after season 4. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the tale right there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, folks, let's go around the room. Who wants to start?
No one say
No
anything
one?
now.
All over.
No
We're
one?
all children.
No one,
We're like,
no one
no,
say
it's
anything.
okay.
I'm
We
gonna
can go
have to.
alphabetical, maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna force me to go alphabetical. Okay, so I guess I'll start.
I was looking. I'm like, wait, am
Um,
I next? Then I'm like
I
going
think
through
it's
the
technically
alphabet here.
me.
I think Amanda
Yeah,
is
it would
technically.
be you. Yes, technically it's Amanda, but since you're new, I figured,
Oh,
I'm
thank
not
you.
gonna throw put much pressure on you. But if you want to go first, you can go first.
Oh gosh. No.
Okay, well, I'm Ashley. I am co-host at Ham Radio, a Stranger Things podcast.
Okay, I can go. Hi, everybody. My name is Amanda, and I am one of the co-hosts of the Starcourt Study Hall podcast.
Well,
And-
I'm gonna go next. I'm Cameron, and I am one half of the Starcourt Foodcourt. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Shameless plug.
Cool. I am
Awesome.
Damien, and I am one half of the Into the Upside Down pod. Yeah.
Round of applause.
Who's next, Marina or Scott? In the alphabet, M.
Or Jasmine.
Oh, or Jasmin.
Where
Jay.
are we in the alphabet right
On you.
now? I'm Jasmin. Jasmin Petty, one half of the Ham Radio podcast.
I'm Marina. I am one half of the Starcourt Study Hall podcast.
Awesome. And
Big.
we got Starcourt Foodcourt's other half checking in.
Yes,
Hello,
this is
Jacob.
Jacob.
And we also have SBF Sarah checking in. Hi, Sarah.
Am I the last? Am I last? It's my
I
turn.
think so.
RS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
We know what order the alphabet goes in.
Right.
We need
It's
Will's
Monday, we're all tired.
letter or Joyce's letters.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Robin. Yes, that is my real name. I promise. And I am the main host of the Contemplation podcast.
Yeah. And
Nice.
it's funny. When the first time that Robin was ever on our show, this is when it was still me hosting the show. And when I was listening to the episode when it came out, I realized that every time I would refer to Robin, I called her Robin Buckley. And it wasn't on purpose. I guess I had
thought that was
Robin
on-
Buckley in the brain. And I was like, oh gosh.
I mean, I took it as a compliment, frankly.
Yes. I mean, I know you never said anything, so I assumed that you either didn't catch it or you were fine with that. But I was
just
like,
go on with
oh my
it.
gosh.
Just accept it. Just roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
fine. Just adopt it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I don't, there's no character in the show with my name, which I think is unfortunate because, Ashley was such a big mean girl name back then. I mean, come on.
There's
Yeah,
still time.
I feel like Amanda too, maybe not so much in the 80s, I don't know, but I was born in 92 and I was one of 5 Amandas in our grade. So I feel like that didn't happen
There were
overnight.
so many Amandas. There were Amandas, Ashleys, and Jessicas in my grade. Always. And Sarah.
Yes, it was like
Sarah's.
it was like 4 other Ashleys, including myself.
Yes, I was always Amanda J. Never just regular Amanda.
The Omen movie franchise was kind of big then, so I don't think anyone wanted to name their kid Damien just to not jinx themselves. So
True.
I have no expectations of a Damien popping up in Stranger Things anytime soon.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're about ready to get into the Stranger Things day. But first, I think it's only appropriate that we all take a moment of silence for the Demogorgon, aka as Starcourt Study Hall likes to call him, Mr. Gorgon, who lost his life not really today, but this week, 40 years ago. So everyone,
Yes.
Okay.
10 bell salute.
May
R.I.P.
he rest in peace. And after seeing Vecna, I kind of missed the Demogorgon, because he was just so simple. He's just no face out there, just doing his thing, like
Right?
he had
Same.
no dogs in the fight. He was just
No
hungry.
demodogs.
Not yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Vecna
That's
he
true.
talked too much. I'm like, come on, man. At least the Demogorgon was just straight to the point. He's like, yeah, I
Yes.
want to eat you.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, hi,
Monologuing
Goose.
over there.
Hi, Goose. And yes, Caitlin
Oh,
and
this is
Samantha. Always.
Goose.
Yes. And
Oh, Goose
yes,
is awesome.
my sister's name is Caitlin. So there you go.
As Gary Klein, Mr. Gordon was a good man. He just
He
had a
was.
bad boss.
So true.
True.
Yes.
Very true.
Gary,
Listen, this all depends on who
Gary-
you think his boss is, though.
It's true.
Right.
That's true.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. What do you guys think about the theory? Like I've seen people talk about this, that the Demogorgons, like the Demodogs, the creatures upside down, are actually like vegetarians, like they're herbivores, and that they've been turned like carnivorous. They've been turned like into carnivores and turned evil by Henry, because Dustin is like, while Dart is hanging out with Dustin, like he seems fine for that first bit, and then he turns. Have you guys heard that theory? What do you guys think of that one?
I didn't hear that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
that's
that.
a new one to me.
I'm trying to remember where I heard that one. I think it might have been on a podcast, although I listened to so many, I don't, this particular one, I can't remember exactly which one
Yeah,
it
there's
was.
so many theories out there. I don't even know. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, when Henry's
That's
first
real.
like exploring the Upside Down, like he walks past the Demogorgon, he just looks at him
True.
like he's a neighbor, like on his way
Yeah.
to work, and just
Yeah.
doesn't do anything. So that maybe that is is the case. Maybe they're more docile than we thought, and Henry just turned them into these brutal monsters.
And I don't know if we can
Yeah.
like take too much from this yet, and I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about it, but the VR game that was just announced, if you watch the trailer for that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
walking, and they're just walking too, doing
But it
nothing to 'em.
attacked him.
Oh yeah, they did.
It attacked Henry, and he had to defend himself. So to me,
Yeah, but I feel like he showed up out of nowhere, though. I mean, if some random guy showed up in your
oh
living
sure,
room,
That's true.
like,
Maybe
I
my
feel like we'd all be
territory.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
more
it's
like a territory.
hostile. So like the Demobats didn't
Yeah.
attack him, but the Demogorgon or
no,
the Demodog
that's
did.
true.
Yeah.
True.
But it's like, Dart, like Dustin formed a bond with Dart, and Dart remembered him at the end, and I mean, basically spared his life. So I do think there is something to it that, these, kind of like I think of like pit bulls, like pit bulls get a really bad reputation because they're aggressive, and they are. Like when you're training them for like dog fights and stuff, and you're
Right.
rough with them, they're more prone to aggression.
Mhm.
But if you don't, rile them up, they're pretty temperamental dogs. So I kind of see it kind of the same way, the Demogorgon. I think maybe it does have, we'll find that out next season when we learn about the Upside Down. But yeah, it's this is a very good point. Something I've always kind of thought of too. Yes, she is the best.
The bestest.
She has been robbed in terms of awards. The fact that she did not get
Yeah, it's
more
bad.
awards for season 4 is a crime. Oh yeah,
Yes.
South Park Collective is good, guys.
Hmm.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's and I think Marina and I might have like said something about this at one point, because I remember us talking about this a little bit. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we just talked about this like independently, but we talked a little bit about that because we were confused about it, and we thought maybe it had to do with proximity to a gate. So is there a
Yeah.
gate in Russia? We don't really know.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean,
Good point.
I
They
don't
make such a
know
big
if
deal about how they had to ship it over from the States.
we did talk about having to airlift.
airdrop it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in season 3, the whole point of them coming over here to infiltrate the Upside Down is because they couldn't open the gate over there, but all of a sudden this Demogorgon and the smoke monster thing in season 4 is alive, and I'm like, so I'm sorry, but I thought it couldn't do this if the gate wasn't open in the area.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I think if like that's the case, then how come, Will doesn't, have the spotty senses or whatever when they're in California and stuff? Like, when the gates open in Hawkins, like that's a little retconning.
Yeah.
To me, but yeah, it's interesting. I did hear a theory though that like when 11 touched the Demogorgon in season 1 in her void, because it was like a psychic touch, she made like a psychic connection, and so some of her powers transferred to the Demogorgon, and that's how it was able to get out. But I mean, I don't know, because the Demogorgons, they don't have minds.
Yeah, they don't have telekinesis.
They don't have minds? Oh, they totally have minds, the Demogorgons.
I mean, like, brains.
No, I give them
like physical brains.
Oh, they have a brain. I give them a brain.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone deserves a brain.
Everyone deserves a brain.
Yes, even the Gorgons.
Yes. I've always thought it had something to do with the, like, not so much the gates, the proximity to a gate, but the physical location, like the borders of Hawkins. Because there seems to be something when they cross the border into Hawkins. Like in season 4, when Will and the rest of the gang cross into there, he can instantly feel it.
Yeah.
But like when everything's going on in Russia, and Will and Elle can't feel that, right? They have no idea that Hopper's even still alive. They can't feel it. They can't sense anything. But the minute they cross the borderline into Hawkins, you see the sign. The minute they cross into it, suddenly they can feel it. So I mean, I agree it could be proximity to gates. I also wonder if it's something about the physical location of Hawkins. Like maybe the gates are part of that, but it's something about Hawkins itself. Like whether it's gates, whether it's, I don't know, tectonic plates, I don't know. Like there's something about Hawkins itself that has to do with the connection.
Yeah.
And plus we don't know if it started in Russia or Hawkins. It could have possibly just started in Hawkins, and maybe Russia picked up on it and was like, hey, that seems cool and seems destructive. Let's do it over here.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
So probably all that energy that's been gathering up throughout the years. I mean, the Creel house, it happened like years and years ago in Hawkins.
Yeah.
So, it's a possibility, all those, years of energy that's collected.
The build up
Probably
energy.
what happened.
Yeah.
Something that we talked about a little bit on our pod on our season 4 wrap up was we talked about how we're speculating how much of like not so much the lore but like actual like narrative in Dungeons and Dragons is actually going to affect the ultimate outcome, and how it being the storyline of the planal overlap and the planal convergence, and that's something I want to explore a lot more in the future, in our wait for season 5, because I suspect that that might be an influence, and that might be something that's playing into all of this, and why I think it might have to do with Hawkins itself, that it's like this, it's always been a place where the planes were going to converge and break through.
And I feel like that kind of adds to the question of like what came first here. Was it, because I mean, in 1959, it's still, I think, not confirmed if it's the Mind Flayer or Vecna. I don't know which camp we all sit in here, who's like the big bad. But part of the 1959 thing is like, could the Mind Flayer, since the veil is theoretically thinner in Hawkins, and then the Creels move to Hawkins, was this the detection of like a sensitive child coming to Hawkins, and that's why the Mind Flayer made contact? I don't know.
Yes, I wonder this too.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I kind of wonder. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like something special about Hawkins and maybe making contact. If there's something about like maybe the land that they're on, do you know what I mean? Like certain, in different cultures they have like certain areas are like spiritually significant, right? Like about the planes converging. I kind of wonder if maybe that might be part of it. Like, is this an area where that kind of stuff converges, or is historically been that? And so when someone is sensitive comes into it, or do you know what I mean? Like, could that be part of it? Because there's something about Hawkins itself that the rest of the world doesn't seem to have, that we know of anyway.
Yes, absolutely. I love that idea. I've honestly never thought of it that way, but now all of our friends over here in the comments saying all these curse motifs, and
Yeah.
as Marina and I like to call everything a theme. Thank you, Goose. Yeah, that's highly possible, because they Alexi even says in season 3 that part of the equation was being able to build the key, but a big part of the equation was Hawkins, because the veil is thinner.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it failed in Russia.
Right.
It failed.
Yeah.
That's why they
Yeah.
were like, oh, we gotta go over here. Because it failed.
Yeah. And, I'm, in the camp of, I believe that in terms of, like, the stuff with the upside down and all that's, happened so far in the show, I do think that Henry, aka Vecna, is responsible for that. But I think, like what Gary said, I think there's something about Hawkins that we just don't know about yet. Because the way Henry talks was like there was already something going on with him before they moved, but then after they moved to Hawkins is when he started to channel his powers and all that. And again, like, it seems like Vecna can only do what he does in Hawkins. Like, he can't, outside of Hawkins, like, it has no reach. So it'll be interesting to see if he's planning on taking over the world using the upside down. Like, how does he go about doing that if he can't do anything outside of Hawkins? Maybe it has something to do with the veil or whatever. I don't know, but
has to recharge.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's the VR video that they posted just like an hour or two ago. I feel like it gives a lot of information without giving a lot of information. Like, it's not telling us anything directly. But like Amanda and I noticed that there's water. So he gets there and there's
I noticed
water.
that too.
Yeah.
There's
There's
vegetation. Yeah, which, like, we know that there's the the regular flora and fauna of the Upside Down, but like this looked like a lusher vegetation, and then there was like a bubbling black like goop like right when he first arrived, and then it fades out and there's like a river and a waterfall. It's just like not what you would expect the Upside Down to look like.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of supports the theory that he probably did do some influencing of what the Upside Down is now that we see.
If you're wondering what VR video we are talking about, because I saw somebody commented that, Stranger Things TV on their Instagram posted a trailer for an upcoming VR game about right after Henry was banished to the Upside Down.
And he even says that he's like, 11, what did you do to me? And then he says, I'm gonna find you. So like,
this is a lot to take in.
Yeah. I really hope we get to see what all he did when he first got there and how he changed everything, or if, how did that come about? I mean, what happened between, it's like Brenner said, like, we don't know, like, where he's been all these lost years. I mean, we know he's been in the Upside Down, but I consider the lost years between 1979 to up until 1983 is the lost years, because, like, how do we go from this version of the Upside Down into the one we know now? I don't know. I try not to think too hard on it because it confuses me, and
24 years for him to mess around with stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to, I don't know if you have like, bulleted points that you want to talk about, but I had a thing about the play. If anyone's willing to talk about Shadow.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So it was revealed that Patty and Henry are in a budding relationship. Patty Newby and Henry Creel.
Right?
What?
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like,
I don't know who could have not seen that one coming.
So obvious.
Even though...
So obvious. Imaginary sister.
But
yeah, right?
it puts Bob's death into a completely different context
Yes.
now,
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Very weird.
It's
Get that
now
thing.
meaningless. I can't think of Bob the same way again because, like, what, Bob? I mean, you have the sister you don't want to tell anybody about? I mean, what's.
But what if
Who's-
what
you
if
know?
she
That's a different race than him too, and they don't appear to be explaining that. Like, they don't appear to be.
But
Is
what
she
if
adopted?
the
Like,
reason
what's the
why
deal?
Patty's not around is because she got too involved with Henry Creel and helped him develop his powers?
I was just
And she's
gonna-
actually maybe Bob doesn't talk about her because she is not as wholesome as
Or
he
maybe
is.
she's dead.
Or that.
That too.
Yeah.
Right? What's up with that?
Did you guys see that there's also a principal newbie in the play?
Okay, so I actually Googled this and because I thought I was losing it. They originally advertised him as Father Newbie,
Right.
as a priest.
Yeah.
And then now he's principal.
Yeah.
And
They
interchangeable.
actually, and they showed like some behind the scenes stuff, like pictures, like in a confessional booth. I don't know what that's called. I just know this. Where you take confession? Yeah.
They did. You're right. They
maybe
totally
he's
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, the whole Patty thing is going to be pretty interesting because the
Yeah.
Duffers always say like love is like the core thing about the show is love, and like that's a motivating factor. So like I wonder if that's in Elle's case, she does things out of love to help people, but maybe Henry's doing things to hurt people because of love. So I mean, it's entirely possible. I just need the
Yeah.
play to come out so I can find out what is going on.
We just need answers.
We need answers.
But it would just be
Yeah.
like such irony if Patty helped Henry develop his powers, which then in turn
Probably
obviously
killed her.
resulted in but then also killed her brother
Yeah.
Yeah.
third,
Mm.
because without the aggressiveness of the Demogorgons or the aggression of the Demogorgons, the Dogs would have never been as aggressive. It's just a
Yeah.
ripple effect.
Yep.
Yeah, and I have to wonder if we're right in the fact that maybe she helped him develop the powers, because there was a quick shot in that behind the scenes video of her sitting on the floor with him and he's blindfolded. It looks like he's, in his void and she's helping him.
I also think of like Collie and Elle and like how that was a sister relationship, and obviously Patty is not Henry's sister, but like what if Patty's intentions were to help Henry develop his powers out of love, whereas Collie was the opposite, and it didn't work for Henry to have his powers made stronger via love, and that's how he ends up taking that turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
This is
the
why
thing
Lots of thoughts.
This is why I'm so disappointed. This is not going to be like where I can see it.
Yeah, Wiley.
I was hoping they were gonna like tape it and put it on Netflix, and that's still
That's what I
possible.
thought.
That might be like a
They
2024
will.
thing.
They probably
Yeah.
will.
Because I mean, with how
That's-
big Stranger Things is, like that's such a missed opportunity for them to get views and everything else on Netflix. So I think they will, and I think they'll make like an event out of it. Plus, it's also a good little like bridge the gap thing from season 4 to season 5, especially with the strikes and everything. Like we don't know when we're actually going to get season 5 at this point.
True.
I mean, it's
Either
not a far possibility because Disney
Yeah.
put Hamilton on their platform.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's possible.
A long time, but yes.
Yeah.
My hope was that they would either do something like that or that they would release it in like a written form, like like they would publish a like transcription, like the play. They would publish the play. Was something I was hoping for, but I don't, because I don't know how much they're trying to really push the marketing for come to England and see the actual show, or if it will tour at some point, which is
A tour would be great.
I
That would be
suspect
awesome.
that's their
Yeah.
longing. Yeah, but
Because like in the promo video today, there was a lot of emphasis on like Stranger Things like you've never seen, and that they really seem to want people to be experiencing the live show.
Yeah.
I really hope that they, like you said, Robin, either make it available as something written or make it or tour with it.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I was going to say, we should go through recap of Stranger Things Day. We did get some latest breaking news while we were figuring out how to come on live. um,
I saw this.
yeah.
I love your face.
So, I guess before that, I guess maybe we should ask, like, what were your legitimate predictions for Stranger Things Day? Did you have any? Did you have any realistic ones? Any you were hopeful for something? Anything like that?
I was hopeful for maybe a chapter title reveal,
Same.
perhaps.
Same.
Yeah. I thought that would be like maybe the most realistic thing to hope for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because they did it last year.
Yeah.
Did.
Is that when they announced the crawl?
I don't.
The crawl.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
last year already. Oh my
That's
god,
their-
that was a
that-
year.
It was their
Right?
pink
No.
Oh my god.
choice. Yeah.
Wow.
We're all a year older. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all the kids in Stranger Things aren't aging at all.
Right,
No.
right.
Definitely not.
Not at all.
Not at all, even slightly.
Well, Gary, I mean, your cousin's the mayor down there in Hawkins. You pull some strings and
Yeah,
get him
please.
to give
Isn't
us
he now-
the title.
Stick his finger into the cigar slicer. Get him to talk.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, what was it gonna hurt? You know,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, Jim did it.
Yeah. Jim did it good.
He's
Like,
a great
every
example
time-
of how you should be.
Yes.
Totally.
How you should interrogate people.
Oh, yeah.
Just beat them up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love Joyce's line. What are you gonna? Who are you calling the police?
What are you gonna do? Call the cops?
Like, which
Joyce
my
is a true
favorite thing is-
gem.
Yeah,
really
my
is.
favorite thing about their relationship though is like she's not that person, but if Hopper decides to go that route, she's like, all right, I'm rocking with it. Like I have your back. I love that about her. She's like, not my thing, but if
But
you
she
decide
does go
this
to
route, we're going.
extremes. But she is a person who will absolutely go to extremes.
Oh,
Like that is
100%.
totally
Yeah.
within her personality.
100%. Yeah.
So true.
No. No, very true.
Don't mess around with Jim. That's true.
No. Did anybody else have any other like expectations for the day, fulfilled or unfulfilled?
I thought we'd get a tagline video, like the we're not in
Something.
Hawkins
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Something exactly. Yeah.
But they said it.
Yeah.
There's still time.
That's true.
Mm,
It's true.
It said
Yeah.
watch new teases on the
Yeah.
the website for it. I haven't seen a new tease.
no.
I guess they meant like the play and the
And the game.
games.
Yeah.
And the hot sauce collab that they're
Yeah.
doing. I don't know if anybody else saw that.
Yeah.
Hellfire Club, Casetify, all these things we didn't ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Available
this
in the US,
felt
but to no one else.
like honestly, it felt like just one big like marketing convention.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
like we spent all day at the Stranger Things Emporium, and here's all this new stuff that you can buy and enter in to win. Spin
Yeah.
the wheel. You might get a free ticket to the play, but not airfare. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe we should read between the lines more then, you know? Like maybe there's more there than they're actually showing us. Maybe. I mean, somebody pointed out in our Discord that like they left out certain couples from all the recaps. Like there was nothing about Maleven. Purposely they called out Jancy, Jopper, and Lumax, but there was nothing about Stancy or Maleven.
Mhm.
Like little things like
I
that. Maybe
know.
we should
Yeah.
read between some
Like-
lines since we're desperate.
I know. And you know what people will say? Oh, that means they're all getting killed off.
Or they're not ending
Okay.
up together, which is just absurd. Like,
Yeah, that's
mean-
what I was more thinking.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's just right now everything
Yes.
is so in a state of flux because of obviously the conditions that they're in with the strikes, but also
Yeah.
like I don't know, as much as we like to try and predict everything because that's what so much of the fandom is here to do. It kind of occurred to me the other day that it's like at the same time and as much as you can see how much meticulous planning they're doing, there's also kind of the thing that some of their best stuff has come from when they're in the thick of it, when they're making it. Like
hmm.
the scene between Jonathan and Will, they had not written that, and then they came up with it when they were filming. So it's like little things like that. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I like the idea that they do leave themselves some. They
Mhm.
plan this far ahead, but also they definitely leave themselves open to inspiration when they're right up to the minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like on that point, we've been doing a series where we compare the script for the Massacre at Hawkins Lab to the final version,
Yeah.
and a lot of some of I think some of the best character scenes and a lot of the great dialogue we got in season 4 was like they'd written something similar, but then they let the actors play with it. You can tell, so it comes off way more colloquial, way more like something a teenager would actually say, which is something I think the show actually does really well. Is they sound like the age they're supposed to be, you know. And like you were saying, like a lot of that stuff came out. You can tell they ran it through the day of, and either they were like, either they did it the way it was scripted, and then they played with it, or they ran through it and they were like, this doesn't work. Like Eddie sounds too formal. You know what I mean? Like you can tell they ran through it. So I agree. Like if some of that stuff wouldn't, like season 4 got all praise for all the improvised stuff, but that stuff doesn't happen if you don't have the foundation, right? Like if the actors don't feel safe to play around with it, if you don't have a collaborative environment, if you don't have the basis of what you're doing, you can't do that. So I agree. I think some of their best stuff that they didn't see coming has come out of just giving themselves space to do that. So we wouldn't want to cut that off either, because that's given us some like really unexpectedly great stuff over the years,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Steve.
Yeah. 100%. The fact that like Dustin and Steve were not originally supposed to team up, but then they got to the part of the script and they were like, "Oh crap, who's available?"
Who's
Okay,
available?
because we're putting Steve and Dustin together because they're the only two characters in the know available at this point of the script, because they actually wrote themselves into a corner.
That was before they realized that whoever you pair Gate Matarazzo up with, he's going to be sensational. Anybody
Gold.
better be
Yeah.
put him with.
So true.
I know.
The star.
Yep.
Star. Ooh,
Well, I
this is a
kept
good
my
question.
expectations low, like I do every year. Anything that they said they're going to announce, I always keep my expectations like to the floor, because I don't want to, be disappointed. But I mean, I was kind of hoping for like another chapter title, or like a video graphic from like they did for season 3. But who knows? Maybe we'll get it. I kind of, the other day I thought about, when they did the one for season 4 back in 2019, like this was before the pandemic, which they obviously were not accounting for at that time. And so I feel like, and because we know that because of the pandemic, they had time to go and finish all the scripts for season 4. And so I kind of feel like that graphic probably serves for seasons 4 and 5, because in it, Hopper's cabin is in the Upside Down, but we never see that in season 4. Like, we only see Hopper's cabin a few times, but like I feel like if the pandemic never happened, I feel like season 4 wouldn't have been as big as it was, and that maybe we would already have seen some of the after effects of the merging of worlds, and that we end season 4 with that, and then we get to season 5, and we saw a little bit of it, but that's kind of my thoughts on it. But never know, we could get it.
Yeah, like I said, we still got time. It's pretty early, even though it's dark. It's only
We have 4 hours.
It's been dark
Yeah.
since 4.
4 hours. We've got some good questions in the chat. Let's
Yes.
see. Okay, people are
just more
asking.
Mia in general, frankly, just more of Erica.
Yes.
in general.
Yes.
Yeah.
More Erica.
Dustin is the heart.
100%.
I would like to see Mike and Hop,
Mike and Hop would
Yeah.
be excellent. That would be so good.
because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
connect for
Oh
their
yeah,
love
that
for
would be
11 and stuff.
that would be fun.
They're
Well,
so
especially
similar
enough,
too.
not like
They only
Dynamic.
had one. They only had one like interaction. That was season 3 when Hopper was basically threatening to kill him.
Nothing's wrong with Nana.
Those bloopers for that scene kill me every time I see it.
Yeah.
Funniest
Oh,
thing.
Mom!
It's
They
your
had their
grandma.
little moment at the end. They had their
It's your
little moment
grandma.
at the end when
That's
they
true.
That's true.
Yes.
and then at the end of season 4, they seem to finally heal that
Yeah.
sort of resentment that they have. So I'm excited because I would like to see what that dynamic looks like without that like just headbutting angst between them.
Tension.
It would be kind of cool. Like it would be cool to see them
Mm.
what's on the other side of that. That would be cool.
I think Robin and Will, to Matilda's
I was
point,
about to
would
say
be great.
that.
Yeah,
Robin and Will
for
would be
sure.
great. They need
I
to
want-
talk.
Yes, I want her to take him under her wing so badly.
Mhm. And if he can see, I think if he can see Robin and Vicky together, like even
Yeah.
though
Yeah.
I don't think him
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think Mike and 11 are endgame. I don't think him and Mike are going to be a thing. If he could see with Robin that her and Vicky, right? Like if you could see that that's possible, if you could see what his life could look like, I think that would be super great for Will.
Yeah.
Love a Joyce and Nancy.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one too.
That would be a
That
good
would be
one.
great.
We
I just
haven't
got
seen
chills thinking about that.
I mean, like season 2
Ooh.
at the end, I guess, like we had a little bit of that just because Nancy was there supporting Jonathan as they were exercising Will.
Yeah.
But no, I would love like
Ooh.
I would love a Joyce and a Nancy, like a purposeful scene
Yeah.
together with them.
Yeah. Like, hey, future mother-in-law, watch me as I poke your son with a hot poker.
Yeah, right?
You get real close real fast.
Yeah, it's like,
Right?
that's when Joyce knew that Nancy was the girl for Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to kill him more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
at the
man.
police
Hopper and
department.
Steve.
Wait, I actually
Oh, that would be a good team up. That would be a
Yeah.
good one.
I think
yeah.
I think every fangirl would just melt. with that
Okay.
book.
Hopper and Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a really
Yes.
good one. Be a very good one. Be very good.
I said
And
it
I
at the end of our season 4 finale. I was like, I kind of feel like a team up between Nancy and Hopper would be really interesting.
Oh,
these
Yeah.
are
are
unlikely animal friends.
Yeah.
Yes, unlikely
I
animal.
Like, I would love to see them, like, investigate a crime or something. Like,
Yeah.
they're just so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Either
that's one of
that
the
or, like,
reasons,
in a
like,
fight.
They have
like
similar skill
Nancy
sets
is
too.
one of my favorite
They are
characters.
fighters. Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
yes.
1000%.
Yes, I want to see Karen's reaction. Yes. I'd actually see a Karen Joyce team up when Karen finds out. I think that could be interesting.
I would love for Karen to find out that Joyce is not the wingnut that she thinks she is.
Right? She thinks she's crazy, and you find out.
Karen,
reaction.
I need you to leave.
I need you to
Thanks
leave.
for the casserole, but I need you to leave. And
Right?
Karen never questioned that. She just left.
She
That
said,
was in the
Bye.
basement, and then Nancy's keeping people in her room. Never questioned any of it. Like,
But like one of the best parts about season 4 to me was seeing like the final shot of Karen looking at the sky and realizing that it was not snow.
yeah.
So I'm hoping that we're going to see big things from Karen.
The entire
know.
Hawkins. But like I like in all honesty, I'd love to see a scene where you have Karen and then you have Claudia and you have like the Sinclairs where they realize that Joyce and Hopper, A, Hopper's alive, but B, Joyce and Hopper are not nuts. That the town crazy people that everybody makes fun of are not crazy, and there actually is a government conspiracy, and they've actually been saving their kids' lives for 4 years. Like I want to see their reaction when they go, "Oh, the worst. What's worse? The fact this is happening, the fact that you're not actually crazy. Like, what's worse?
or the fact that we didn't know about it.
Yeah, the fact that we
Yeah.
missed it for 4 years. Like, I want to see like that could be very humbling for them, but just like
Our
comedic, but also
children.
very humbling. That like we
The
missed
children
it,
of
we
this
caught
have
it.
been in life-threatening situations for the past 4 years, and no one knew.
I want to see
Right?
Mr. Clark's reaction to that news.
Yes, they bring Mr. Clark back. I'm
we
so
really
excited.
need
We didn't
him.
see him in season
Yes.
4.
Missed opportunity for season 4.
Right? I was talking to Erica's teacher. Like
Yeah.
That town hall scene
Wow,
would have been very
Erica
different.
going to Mr. Clark would have been so good.
I would love Mr.
Me
Clark
too.
and Murray to have a scene together.
Wow.
I just think
Yes.
the comedy in that
Star
alone would be amazing.
power.
Because
And
you
Murray's
guys
gonna
that
call
are
him a
kind of
nerd or something.
know-it-alls in their own regard, and I just think they would be hilarious together. So I
It
hope
would
that
be-
happens. If Mr. Clark wasn't one of the ones that perished and is missing on a bulletin board right now. Hopefully
Oh.
not.
I don't think so, because they had him do some of the promo for season 4, so I feel like they meant to include him. They ran out of time. That was kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah, he was doing all like the
Like-
unboxing stuff for it. I thought it was so random that they picked him, but maybe that was like a
Yeah.
makeup for, hey, sorry, we couldn't put you in season 4 for whatever reason, scheduling conflict,
Yeah.
whatever it could be.
'Cause,
But yeah,
like,
definitely need him back.
Yeah, because they focused so much on Karen. Like I saw when early reviews were coming out, they focused really hard on Karen. Like the camera focused in on her a lot, and so we all thought she was going to find out, be a part of the second half. And then they just kind of left that hanging. So I feel like they ran out of time. Although at the same time, we watched the Pizza Gang drive around in a van half that season, and Russia was. I love the Russia plot, but it definitely could have been sped up or shortened or been more like montage. You put more some montages in there. So
Whittled down. It could have been whittled down. Yeah.
he's kind of mean.
Yeah, I love that part.
John McDowell was coming to him because I've thought a lot about that scene, and the only thing I can think of, so the reason they picked her first is they thought because she was a girl that she'd be easier to crack, because that's the only explanation. Because Max is a tomboy skater from California whose brother just died, and they're like, yes, she's often the weakest link. Like nobody else would think Max is the weakest link there.
I mean,
So,
that tracks with the way it tracks with the way we interrogate Nancy in season 1. So that's at least somewhat consistent. Yeah.
Right? And then they're shocked when she's super mean to them. It's like, yeah. And I guess I learned nothing from Hopper, because Hopper would have been like, there's no advocate present, there's no parent present, no one's taking her, she's even in Hellfire. Like, what are you doing? Like, they apparently learned nothing in all the time that they worked under Hopper. That's why I can't get over it. They learned absolutely nothing. Like, they worked under him for what? Like, how many years would that have been? Let's see, then they're like, what, 4 years and Will disappears? So like 8 years, and they've learned absolutely nothing from the seasoned guys they worked under.
This last comment, Max, Nancy, Erica, L is gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a whole girl crew.
100%.
This is the team we need.
The
They
whole
will,
girl crew.
they will fix it. Whatever
They
it is,
will
they're gonna fix it.
F stuff up.
Like I think,
Mm-hmm.
I think a scene that most definitely needs to happen is like Erica smarting off at Vecna. Like I would love to see that so bad.
Just like
he'd
talk
be
sass to him.
Instead
Yeah.
of you long-haired freak, it'll be you bald freak.
Why are you burnt like that?
Yeah,
All
where's your
bastard.
nose? Or
Grinch
something like
looking
that.
ass.
Yes, Grinch looking at.
And be like,
Except
why
you're
you
red.
speak so much, child, or something.
Why is this 4-year-old speaking to me?
Ooh, this is a good one. What do we think Murray's role is going to be in season 5?
Good question. He is going to take Vecna to court.
For child
He's
addiction.
gonna lay down the facts.
Yes.
I don't.
I think Murray
He might
would be able to figure Vecna out, like his,
Yeah.
deep down what's going on.
True.
He's
He
gonna
figured
daredevil.
out, like
That could seem a therapist.
Well, I mean, depending on how they go about, like, what is the public knowledge about what's going on, I could very easily see Murray being somebody trying to get information out to the citizens of Hawkins, the residents, of Hawkins, like trying to release like information.
Handing out pamphlets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, his own
Have you heard of the
newspaper.
Upside Down?
Yeah, right.
How far
Seriously,
out
you
do we think he was from when they returned from Russia? Like, was he already home? Because we see, like, Hopper just getting dropped off and everything.
Yeah, that was my question.
Was
it
it
2
all
days
that
later or 4
going on,
days?
like,
It was 2 days. It was 2 days. So I assumed he went back to the bunker, but I was surprised we didn't see where he went, and where did Dimitri and his family go? Where did Yuri and his family go?
Yeah,
Because
we
they
never
have to
found
have gone back and extracted them. Because if they'd stayed, they would have been killed. So I'm like, where are... Also, what were George and Hopper doing for 2 days? Like, what the...
He's with Owens. He's with Owens. That's what it is.
I like the point in the chat that Murray is a high death risk.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that, but I think so.
I don't like it. I just, it's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
I love how like a complete 360 he's done though, Murray as a character, like
very
full
true.
180.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because season 3 came around and I'm just like, or season 2 came around and this guy's just poking around. Like, stop poking around, dude. Leave us alone. And then by the end of season 4, we're like, yeah, this guy's a boss. We love him.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
great.
I think he's my
And-
favorite character too.
He's very
He's a
funny.
good character.
Yeah.
I think this was on the wiki, but I was like, oh, don't know if this was done intentionally or if they just ran with this later, but he took home that flamethrower, 100%. And Erica definitely took home the little, what is it, that pokey, sticky, whatever the heck it was, the frothy thingy. She definitely still had
A
that somewhere.
deadly weapon.
A deadly weapon.
Yeah.
What was I trying to say about Miranda? Oh yeah, like I saw on the wiki that like when he goes to Hopper in season 2, and he's like, there are secret Russians, and everyone's mocking him. Someone did the timeline, and Murray's actually right about that, because in order for the Russians to do what they do in season 3, when Murray comes to Hopper, they have to have started at that point to have the infrastructure. And so he was actually right. Like everyone's like, you're nuts, but someone did the math on it, and he's actually correct. So I don't know if they planned that, or if they just got to season 3 where they were like, Russians, you know what I mean? And they were like, well, we already dropped this, so we can pick this back up. I'm not sure what came first, but
Whatever was under Lucas.
Oh, we know what was under
Yeah.
Lucas's bed.
I don't even like to
We
think
know.
of Lucas in that way, but I know that's
We know.
reality.
Does everybody else want to know? Everybody want to see Tina and meet Tina? Because I'm like,
Yeah.
who is Tina?
And
Is she a
Uncle
friend? Is
Jack?
she a cousin?
Tina sounds bad, like in a good way. Like she sounds like a total badass. Like I want to meet Tina.
Yeah.
Right? One of my big hopes for season 5 is that we're gonna see characters on screen that have been previously mentioned, because I feel like that would be a great way for them to like quote add new characters they wanted to while not adding. Do you know what I mean? Like we've talked about this character for 4 seasons. Now you get to see them. Like,
Or
I'd prefer that than like random guy.
Well, I
Yes,
know
or-
we're getting Linda Hamilton at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know who she's gonna play, but that would be I'm really looking
Somebody
forward
from
to
the
that
past,
because
obviously.
yeah.
Obviously, of course.
Someone who's tied in somehow.
I'm hoping we get more Susie.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
I hope
What if
Flyer
Susie makes the trip to
Yeah,
Hollywood?
she's got to get there.
I think she will. Like I feel like she's gonna be like, my Dusty Bun, I gotta go.
My Dusty Bun's in danger.
pick her up.
What if she like
Or Val.
radios Dustin, right? And she can't get a hold of him, and she's like, "Oh well, I got to make the drive there now." But I don't know how to
Yeah.
drive.
She's gonna have
So
Eden
she takes her
driver,
dad's-
and then
Oh yeah,
Argyle's gonna be in his
Argyle
glory.
can come pick them up.
Yeah,
Argyle
I
can
would like to
get
see
in.
Eden
They can take them
again.
back.
Like
He'll
that.
come back for Eden.
Yeah, Eden will drive to the town border and then just drive away,
Yes.
or maybe stay there. Who knows?
Oh.
That would be incredible if it was.
Oh,
I
I
would
had
have-
not thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Oh. That's everything.
So
Maybe
that's what's
Susie
in
will
Area
follow
51.
along.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
is Tina?
Oh my god, I love that. It just makes this all real.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me too. I also want to see Steve's parents.
Yeah, who are they?
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like to see them.
I mean,
But, like,
he
at the
talks
end of
about
the
his
show.
dad a lot. You know, his mom doesn't trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another musical number.
Yeah, we got Ryan checking in. Yeah, I would love to see like what other kind of musical number they would come up with. Toll Trouble for Macbeth or something.
Yeah, we had 2 wildly different things with Never Ending Story and then Metallica. So it's
Yeah.
would be pretty interesting if they go in
Anything.
the middle of those
could be
2,
anything.
or they just go completely opposite. Like
I'm trying to
extremes.
find a middle point between the Never-Ending Story and Metallica. Like, what
I don't
would
even
that
know what that would
be?
be.
No, me neither.
Well,
But I'll
just
take
another
it. Like if they can
amazing-
make it work, like that will be perfectly fine with me.
Or maybe it's a mashup of both Metallica and that.
Well, based on this thing that they released about the first line of the
Yeah.
season
Yeah, can we
1
dive
or
into that a
season-
little bit?
Yeah. I just want to find it. Hold on. How I've lost it already is a mystery. So they released I guess what would sort of be the first line of script for season. I know that
It is
A
the
lot of
first scene of chapter
right.
1.
Scene 5,
Yes.
chapter 1, scene 1. And it just says again, darkness, the sound of cold wind, groaning trees, and a child's voice singing a familiar song. And
Ooh.
Should I stay or should I go?
yep.
That was my thought. That was my thought.
Yep.
Yes.
Are we going back? Are you saying we're going back
We
I think it might be a flashback,
to
maybe.
him,
Yeah.
someone in the other
That's-
place that must not be mentioned?
That's where my mind goes immediately. I think
It's gotta
we're gonna
be
see
it.
more. I don't know
Let's
how
say-
they'll do that because of unless they shot extra stuff all those years ago that they just have sitting around, or they can do de-aging.
They'll de-age him like they did 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were my fave.
And that
Which
wasn't too
wasn't
bad.
like
That
the
looked pretty
best
good,
thing.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yes, it is Matilda. It is.
Yeah.
Actually, is
And-
it stuck in
and-
83? I thought it was stuck in a different year.
I don't want to go there.
Are you okay, Scarlett?
We're not.
Like Jasmine and I talked about this like some time ago. Like that's something that I would really love to see would be like from Will's point of view, if as much as they can, like what it was like for him in the Upside Down,
Yeah.
because we
They've
never see that.
implied that Will is going to be a much bigger, like, central figure in season 5. So that would make sense if that's where it's starting.
Yeah.
It has to end where it started, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And-
with Will.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
we didn't get much from when he was in there. I mean, we saw that one scene
No.
where they had like attacked the tent or the fort.
Yeah.
And they have
And-
avoided it every single season. They haven't really dug
Yeah.
into it. And I'm like, we have the time to sit down and do therapy with Max because it's relevant to the plot, but we have not given this. Elle hasn't gotten any therapy either, but they've avoided talking about the experience at all. Even when he goes to the lab in season 2, it's like there's no discussion of what happened to you.
I kind of like that.
Oh, I like that.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But I agree with Robin. I think, like, Ash and I have talked about this, but, like, seeing Elle's escape, what happened to Will in the Upside Down, and I agree, like, going into how that's been.
Ooh, Elle's escape.
Yeah, because I feel like we've talked about this a lot, but, like, those two things are interlinked. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
It's
what was
true.
real and
They happen
their
at the same
versions.
place.
And the big thing I keep coming back to is the fact that, like, I know a lot of people have brought this up, but the fact that Elle points to Will in the picture, Mike does not point him out. She points to Will. She recognizes Will in season 1. And to me, the only option there is that either she somehow saw him through the void and knows, or they were at the lab at some point together, because otherwise, Elle non-verbally recognize and signal to Mike. Because again, they're looking for Will. She doesn't know he's Will, but she recognizes him and works to communicate. I know this person, and I know where they are. So, like, I keep coming back to that. I feel like her escape, Will's abduction, why they're able to recognize each other, like that has to come back full circle. That has to be part of, what we're missing.
I often wonder if it's the reason she recognized his picture is because after she escaped the lab, maybe she saw him in the woods before he either when he was running for his life, she saw him in the woods because she was out there in that general area, and we know that's that house was like almost beside where the lab was. So I kind of thought, well, maybe she saw him and didn't know what was going on, and then saw the Demogorgon and got scared or something. But I mean, there's no doubt, like, she definitely has seen Will at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't read it, but isn't there a graphic novel that goes into, like, isn't one of the graphic novels they've published about, doesn't it cover Will's experience in the Upside Down?
I think so, but those aren't always canon.
True, but I haven't read it, so I just was curious if any of you had.
Has anybody read it?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I only
think
knew of the
so.
book series.
Yeah, there's a couple of graphic novels. I have one, but it's not that one.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, I know I have the Max and Lucas and
VH1.
Robin
Yeah, these.
books. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
hmm
Oh.
Yeah,
that's
they might not be canon.
Yeah, that's the thing. I loved. I've read some of the books, and even from like Rebel Robin, for example, the book to the podcast are not consistent, and then they don't exactly line up with the show. They're all very good, but I noticed even while watching them, it's supposed to be a companion podcast, but there's stuff towards the end that like the book says one thing, the podcast says another, and the show says something else entirely.
Yeah.
I was gonna say to I forget who said it, or Gary was saying that Lonnie's not gonna be a part of season 5, and I would agree. But he is in the first shadow, so we are gonna learn about their early relationship. So I think it's very possible, you know.
I feel like
man.
I feel like he might be there in flashbacks though.
That play.
Oh, maybe.
Like, I don't think him being an actor role, no, but I could see, again, this is my pet personal theory, but if my theory is correct about, Ellen Will having been in the lab at some point, like, Joyce would never let that happen, so it's obviously got to be Lonnie, right? I could see there being flashbacks, there being something about Ellen Will's past, or like that kind of thing coming up, or something about trauma. Yeah, like Scarlett Dances is talking about, yes. So being part of that trauma, like I could definitely see that being a thing. Or another thought I had with the first line that we got, is it like Will having a nightmare? Or like, do you know what I mean? Like something like that, like, like that kind of like nightmare sequences or dream sequences or flashbacks. Active part of the present, no, but I could see that, like, definitely, absolutely, I could see them doing that.
Oh, fascinating. Okay.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
he sees her. Okay.
Okay.
Oh no. To Matilda's point. Hate that.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah. No more Lonnie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much like the actual Lonnie, he probably just took his paycheck and went home.
He sued the Sadler company and went home.
Like, I'm out of here. I'm good.
Yeah.
Very Lonnie-esque.
Very Lonnie-esque.
He kind of looks like he would do that. I don't know if that's mean. I don't know. He just kind of looks like he'd be like, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
He just has the look.
He does.
He's probably like the nicest guy in real life. It's usually how it
Probably.
is. Like they always play
We're just
horrible
dumping on him.
characters on screen. They're like doing all this amazing stuff off screen and are just so nice.
That's how we were talking about the actress who plays Angela, Elodie Grace Orkin. And she's like, you can't look at her without being like mad at her. But I'm sure Elodie is like a lovely human being. But just something about like now in that role, I'm just like, I don't like you.
Yeah,
But
those scenes in particular, very punchable face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very punchable face.
Which
Okay,
is great casting.
Yeah. Also, the actor that plays her boyfriend, like we see him very briefly, Angela's boyfriend. I couldn't figure out why I recognized that guy. And then I realized he plays like the same actor plays like the nicest guy on like was like Sweet Magnolias on Netflix. That soapy thing. Like he plays the nicest guy on that. And I was like good job in styling the actor because he looks completely different. But like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm sure he's a very nice guy in real life.
I'm sure that's how good of an actor he is.
Yeah, but you see him on that and you're like, I want to punch you. Like that's
Okay, so episode 1 is the crawl.
yeah.
So maybe the evolution of the crawl?
The
stand-up.
There you go.
Yes, same wavelength.
That must be it.
What Eddie did on his upside down vacation.
Yeah.
Or what's the cast? What's that thing they keep calling? They say Eddie maybe just to F with people.
Yes.
Like something cast.
He's a vampire.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like
Amy
a
will tell you all
vampire.
about it.
Just like just to mess with people. I could see them doing that. Everyone gonna be like, oh, and that's gonna turn out to be like a D&D thing. Like it's gonna be like a game or something. Like it's gonna have nothing to do with Eddie, just to mess with people. I could see them doing that.
Matilda's point.
Shadows.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Behind the shadows.
You guys
is
have good
pretty
ideas. It's his groove back. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, so do you guys want to talk about what we actually got for Stranger Things Day? All the recaps. You want to talk about them recaps? Because I know you talk about them recaps.
Yeah, we kind of got off book here. I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, we did get the first official trailer of the play. It's like 3 minutes. It's pretty cool. Like I'm still on the fence overall about the play, mostly because I wish that I could watch it, but I think the special effects look awesome. Like I think it's I would love to be there to just see that, like how they're going to pull all that off on a stage play. And so we got that, and then at 7 a.m. like Pacific time, then we got our season 1 recap. And then after that, at 9 a.m., we got our season 2 recap. And then at 11 a.m., we got the season 3 recap. And then at 1 p.m., we got the season 4 recap. And then I found something interesting too is that they streamed on loop on TikTok episode 1 of season 1 like all day.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, wow.
Well, everyone spammed 11 in the chat the entire time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You watched it?
Even if 11 wasn't on the video, they'd just be spamming 11. I'm like, it's not there.
She can't hear you.
She can't hear
Can't
you.
hear you.
This is the past.
Did anyone's TikTok freeze at weird moments? Because I tuned in occasionally, and I'd be like, "Oh, I love this scene," and then it would freeze at like the weirdest moments, and it would just get stuck. It was kind of funny. Like it wasn't funny, but it was like when something freezes inappropriately.
Yeah. Happens all the time.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Right on.
I guess you ran up that hill, huh?
All right.
All right.
On that note.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, no.
There's a
Have you guys
layup.
seen that Tumblr post that's like, "Hey, I'm running up that hill. Does anybody want anything?" It's like, yeah, could you make a deal with God while you're up there? And there's like a whole chain. I just want to change our places. Okay.
And then, of course, we got all the merch, which is all really cool. Like a lot of people apparently, like at some time, entered to win a bunch of cool stuff. Stranger Things memorabilia. I was not one of them. Were any of you guys?
Wait, is that
Unfortunately,
the thing that they're gonna announce on the 11th?
We're
I
gonna
think
win
so.
stuff.
I think there's a couple different things you can enter to win. I think.
Yeah, I entered for that.
There was
Nice.
Yeah, that I
there
did
was a
too.
season 1 box. I think you could enter to win each box individually, but then you could enter to win all 4 boxes with the pair of tickets. So it was like 5 different entries. I only did 2.
Okay.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Us and the whole world entering
Right.
these things.
Yeah. I was gonna say it'd be exciting when people actually win and like open them up and stuff because we got little pieces, but it'd be cool to see like the full boxes. And we'll see if they ever fix their Canadian eligibility for their stuff.
Hope so.
Yeah. Anyway, Ashley, you were saying.
Yeah. So then we got the Death by Daylight game. But I must say, like, I'm really like looking forward to the virtual reality thing. I think that would be really cool. Although the last time I did anything VR, I threw up because like it maybe it's like the motion sickness and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but I would be willing to risk that.
So the Dead by Daylight was actually they got it back, that content. So they had lost that content for it's been like 2
it was
or
old
3 years
DLC.
now. Yeah, and
It was Steve and Nancy, I think.
It was Steve and Nancy
Yeah, what
and the
happened with that?
Demogorgon. I don't know. It was Steve, Nancy, the Demogorgon. There was a Hawkins Lab map, and they did a really terrible Steve character with a Jonathan skin. It was just not.
Ugh,
It wasn't good.
that sounds awful.
It was not great. But
They've
they lost the licensing for it. Netflix
Mm.
terminated the license. I don't remember. It's like I said, about 2 or 3 years ago now. So
Mhm.
this is like a big deal that it's back in the game, that they've reprised it. And there was like rumor that they were going to do a season 3 chapter, and they never did, with and then a season 4 chapter, and they never did. So I think the Dead by Daylight community is kind of hoping that they'll be able to now create new DLC. Like, I would love an Eddie and Robin playable, like things like that. There's
Mhm.
opportunities there. So
I know people have been asking for it. Like I saw that for a long time.
No, I think Dead by Daylight teased something. I'm trying to look it up right now.
Yeah.
Um,
it was just the OG. They're just bringing back the Nancy skin that existed, and there's nothing new. So I don't know what.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I looked at them and I was like, they have season 1 skins, and then I know there's the Steve from Scoops Ahoy.
They have
that
the Scoops
exists.
Ahoy skin, yeah.
So I'm curious. I don't play the game. So when they terminated, they lost the license. Were you not able to use the skin of those maps anymore?
So they pulled the map from rotation. You could still use the skins if you owned them.
Right,
and
but
you
if
could
you
still,
didn't.
Yeah, like if you could still play the Demogorgon as a killer, and you could still play Nancy and Steve as survivors, the map was pulled and you couldn't purchase. So now they've made it available for purchase again.
Okay.
But as far as I know, it's just those 3 things, and they've put the map back.
Yeah. The Strangers Writers account said, "Miss you guys, can we make this collab real again?" And then Dead by Daylight was like, "Actually." So I think that was them just bringing the content back up again. I didn't check the time on that.
I feel like that makes me wonder if like someone Netflix was like, "Oh, this is costing us too much," or "It's not that whatever," and then they lost it, and everybody was like, "Oh shoot, we should not have done that." Like it kind of gives me that vibe.
Marina, wasn't there a whole thing how like there was like a rumor there was supposed to be like a Vecna?
Yeah, so they introduced, like, I don't know how familiar you are with Dead by Daylight, but they introduced chapters on like a semi-regular basis, and there was a whole theory that one of the chapters that released around the same time that volume 2 of season 4 was coming out, like the killer that they released at that time, essentially has the Vecna Mori. So it's like, or like the Vecna death, like the cracked limbs and stuff. There was like a whole thing that they were going to do a season 4 chapter, and they just never did. I guess we'll see now. Maybe they'll do it.
Yeah.
If they have the license back, it's not far-fetched.
Yep.
Kind of surprised they didn't. Like I mean, I don't play the game, but I feel like doing season 1, 2, 3, 4 seems like an obvious choice.
I wonder if it was because, I mean, who knows? It's interesting to me that they released this VR simulation type of game at the same time that they're releasing or re-releasing the Stranger Things DLC, because it's like, if they had their own game in the works, I could see them wanting to pull their content from other games. But I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know why the partnership ended.
Yeah, I kind of wondered if maybe they were going to do their own thing, and then they realized it was probably more profitable to do both.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, I know other franchises I've seen that were like they were exclusively with like Sony or something, and then they went over to this, and they went over to that. Like, so I wonder if that was kind of it, because I could see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's good that they're bringing it back.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw there
and
Fortnite thing as well.
Yeah, and that was Stranger Things Day. And then, of course, the little bit of episode 1, the script from episode 1 from season 5. So I guess before we conclude this special Stranger Things Day event, well, first and foremost, Robin had a special day of her own on the 3rd. It was her birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Oh,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Robin.
I mean, I am an 80s baby, so I'm like, actually, when Eddie says 86 baby, I have a shirt with that because I am an 86 baby. So I'm November 3rd, 86. So I'm like almost exactly 3 years younger than actual Stranger Things Day, but not quite.
Cool. And like it's
Right
so
on.
weird because like all these characters, even the kids, are like old enough to be my parents. So
Yeah, if you do the ages, yeah.
Very
That
true.
doesn't make me feel old at all. Not at all. I will say that one of my fellow co-hosts on our podcast did get me the game
Nice.
for my birthday, so I haven't played it yet, but I'm very excited to do so.
Nice.
Yeah.
cool.
It's fun.
I'm also an 86 baby as well.
Yes.
And I did.
Show your tattoo.
I
Do it.
can't roll up my sleeve. It's a little it's tight. But I actually got a tattoo that says 86 baby on it, but instead of
that's
like the
awesome.
little apostrophe, it's a bat. Because I was like, I want a Stranger
Aw,
Things tattoo.
amazing.
I was like, what should I
Cool.
do? So I was like, oh, I was
Yeah.
born in 86. He says 86
Yeah.
baby. I'm like, that's perfect. And I'll get it. And probably maybe a couple other people might. But I did get it in like the Stranger Things kind of font too.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
So it was pretty cool.
Eddie would
That's
approve.
cool.
I hope so.
Eddie
I
would
rooted
approve.
for
Eddie
him.
would
He'll
like
either
it.
come back in season 5. So if not,
And he
to get
called
it covered
the
up
upside
with like,
down.
I don't even know, a Vecna tattoo or an Eggo waffle or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, that's
I know it
awesome.
would be really good.
So does anybody have like any season
You're
5
missing
theories
Driscoll.
they want to share?
Yeah.
The bat. Yes, Steve needs to get his bat back. Yes.
What did you say, Ashley, before?
This is Driscoll.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if any of you guys had any season 5 theories you wanted to share, or like what song would you like to hear in the trailer for season 5? It's the last time we're gonna get that, you know.
I actually have. I'm like really about the music for the shows, even though Marina is always the one on our pod who finds the score songs. But I just love like the soundtracks always. And I have a playlist that I've been adding to for the past, I don't know, year and a half or whatever, of season 5 predictions when it comes to music. So I'm gonna see, because I feel like I have something like that I need to hear in season 5, and I can't remember what it is. So I'm looking right now.
I want Heaven is a Place on Earth by Berlinda Carlisle. Please.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that'd be good. I'd love to see I Don't Like Mondays. Like when they're going over the plan and they're switching back and forth between like Vecna and the gang, going over the plan one more time, kind of a thing. I thought that would be good.
I don't know
If
if
I
that's
could-
not a new one, but I did think at one point it might be interesting if they brought back Should I Stay or Should I Go? If they
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that has to
yeah.
make a comeback. It has to.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good
like
one.
Might as well connect it with
yeah,
Will.
give it
like a
the symphonic
remix
treatment they gave Running Up That Hill.
yeah,
That
Or
would be
the
so good.
the Journey.
That Volume 2 trailer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 When we got to the part in season 4 where the journey, the new mix of the journey from Journey of the song for the trailer came up, I was like, oh, they're actually using it in the
Yeah.
in the show. I thought it was just gonna be the trailer, and you're like, oh, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think
Well,
if
we didn't
if
start-
if I could turn back time by Cher.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yes.
Whoa.
Me too.
And I
Yeah.
don't know why. It's just like solely purely on vibes. But if you're familiar with the song Toy Soldiers by
Yes, yes, that
which has
one.
been, I believe, sampled by maybe Lil Wayne. I can't remember, but somebody sampled it and like
Wasn't it Eminem?
Eminem.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Eminem.
It was
Yeah,
Eminem.
it was.
Yes. But that song, just pure vibes. But I just feel like I see it in season 5.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I would love it to, like, I have, a few songs. Obviously, Everybody Wants to Rule the World is one.
Yes, that one
Um,
too. For me, yes. Everyone wants to
But
yes.
One I think would be definitely like far out there. I don't know. They would probably not really do this. Would be Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks. I think would be
would be very good.
Or this is a song from like the 1950s. It's called "I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire." I forgot. It's a group that sings it. I can't remember their name at them, but just it's a really good song. It's very creepy. It really does make you think of like an apocalypse type situation. But also, I would love it. Like Robin said, should I say or should I go, or just keep it simple and give us that epic remix of the Stranger Things theme as heard at the end of season 4. Like that would be incredible.
Oh, Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah, Johnny Cash.
I would not mind some Prince. I'm just gonna put
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the ink spots. Yeah, the ink spots.
I don't know who. I saw somebody talking about this. Where's Michael Jackson?
Seriously.
Right?
Well, they did
Yeah.
Thriller.
Yeah,
Season 2 trailer.
Yeah, I think it played the Halloween
one of the
party,
best
right?
trailers
It was the
But, like,
trailer.
ever.
It was an amazing
feels like-
remix too.
It feels like
It
we
was
should
like
have had
supposed to-
more.
it was like San Diego.
Yeah, I think
Comic
it's
Con
a Halloween party, but it's very brief. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I,
feels
I
like
was thinking like Nirvana or Pearl Jam, maybe.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Depending on the
Someday.
time, we don't really
The
know.
timeline. Like they
Yeah.
could end with
True.
Nirvana. They could end with a Nirvana for like the epilogue.
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm just trying to think of old school
Me
bands
too.
from the 80s.
I mean,
You
they
know?
got "Living on a Prayer" from Bon Jovi.
Yeah. John Jovi.
Like that's, I feel like that's kind of what I thought about separate ways with season 4. Like it was one of those like very popular 80s kind of rock pop songs, and I think "Living on a Prayer" would be kind of cool depending on the situation that they use it in. It's a pretty hopeful song.
Yeah.
And they could always
I
do
was-
like a spin on it too to make it slower, more dramatic. So that would be kind of cool.
I was kind
I
of
would
also
picturing
do-
living on a player.
I would not mind some Queen either.
Queen's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bohemian
Van
Rhapsody.
Halen.
Oh
Mm.
god.
Oh no, that one was "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go" by
Yeah,
Wham.
by Wham.
By Wham.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Wham.
Dude.
But
Trailers
or,
tend to
I
be
think you're
so.
thinking George Michael. If you're thinking George Michael, he's part of Wham. But yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Never gonna give you up. That's
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
That's
That's
Throw some
definitely
Whitney
fun.
Houston in there, maybe would be good too.
Yeah.
Some Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
The one about the
Um,
children. I believe the children are our future.
Oh God, I feel like I might be too on the nose.
There's so many songs you can pick from, honestly.
I'm kind of picturing like maybe this is me, but I kind of picture like something about the final battle or one of the battles they have taking place at the high school. I feel like as a setting would make sense. So I'm kind of picturing like, we didn't start the fire, or
Ooh,
living on a
Braveheart.
prayer, like a slow-mo kind of like as they're like going down the hallway, kind of that's kind of what I'm picturing for some of this stuff, is like an action type scene that might be slowed down or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be a good one too.
Like Survivor.
Yeah.
I like
We get
Scarlett.
Rickrolled.
Yeah, Scarlett said if we get rickrolled.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would be so mad.
Oh, the evacuation of Hawkins, Indiana. I kind of love that as a title.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be good.
That's
Yeah.
creepy.
That is creepy. That's like
Yeah.
eerie.
That's
I
like
love it.
chilling. Yeah.
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 I could see that as a later, like maybe not
Mm.
episode 2.
It's giving the massacre at Hawkins.
It
Lab.
is very much
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a
100%.
chapter called Mama.
Oh,
that would be
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I really
I
want
hope they
Terry
bring her
to
mom
come back.
back. Like,
I
I
want
don't
Terry
know
to
if they
come back,
will, but
I would love
Yeah,
to
we
see
should
that
definitely.
off.
Yeah, we should definitely see Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she
Agreed.
won't show up early. Maybe once all the dust settles, and then she'll have
Mhm.
like one final not goodbye, but kind of like a
Moment.
reconciliation.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
all right. So, well, I can't, close the live stream without having someone from Starcourt Study Hall say
Amanda.
give my favorite line that you always say
Oh no.
almost every episode. I'm like,
God.
I requested this special because I just love it, and it's awesome. So if you would please do the honors
I will.
to get us out of the stream.
And I can't believe you have to look at my face while I say this. Oh my gosh. Okay, I will do it. Mrs. Wheeler.
Oh God.
Sorry, y'all to see that.
It's just a staple.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. It's like when I think of Billy, that's what I think of. Him saying that as he chews on a stick of gum. And as one of my friends said, when we watched that the first time, she was like, you know his breath stinks. Like, that's why he's putting the stick of gum in his mouth. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes, like cigarettes, probably.
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for giving me a platform to do that live on the internet.
You're welcome.
Immortalized.
Amanda, we have
now.
a platform to do it live on the internet.
I know,
It's
but
beyond-
no one sees it. They don't see it.
Everybody close your eyes. She'll do it again. No.
No, that's okay.
Including all of the viewers.
Oh, not my
Yes.
aunt still in here.
Oh, she's still
Oh, she's
You
so
have a good
proud of
aunt.
you.
She's so proud of you.
Look at that.
Love you.
Jumped out of her seat.
Oh God.
Brilliant.
Oh God.
Mrs. Kaufman.
No.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm turning
Yeah.
on my cam.
Scarlet dances. We agree.
I'm dying. I can't.
Oh.
Wow, that was amazing. What a way to end.
That was the main event right there. That's
Wow,
what we've been
sure
waiting
was.
for.
Oh, thank you so
Oh,
much.
that's so.
Yeah. We need to hear your guys' theme song. It's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you play it?
Yeah, I
Amanda?
noticed the remix.
Can I? I don't know. I'm scared it won't be too loud.
It's good. All
It's
right,
good.
get out of here with the hi, daddy too.
No.
Everybody out.
No.
Okay.
That's so funny. No, but if you want to listen to the season 4 new theme song, please feel free on our new episodes. I feel like if I play it here, it might like be way too loud. But
Probably.
yes,
That will entice any newcomers who aren't familiar with your podcast.
that's so true.
There you go.
Thank
Very
you.
true.
No, not
I
on.
think I scared your aunt. I'm sorry, Aunt Mary. I didn't mean to scare you.
Oh.
Oh, this was so fun.
No, but
Yeah.
another like thing I heard, like this was when you guys were doing season 1, and when you were talking about like the scene where they're like looking for Will, and Mr. Clark was asking about Hopper's daughter or something, and the random lady was like, "Oh, she's dead," and then one of you was like, "Who are you?"
Oh God.
She got paid all that money to say that one line.
Right?
Yeah. Who the heck is that woman? We never see her again.
Why is
Yeah.
this not? Why am I not? What are we
I
talking?
think I remember. I feel like I said that. I was like, "Excuse me, who are you?"
Yeah. So
Yeah.
season 1, when they're looking for Will, Hopper talks to Mr. Clark about his daughter, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well she's in the city with her mom, whatever." And then he walks away, and she's like, "Yeah, his daughter's dead."
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Never
yeah,
been
I
the same
remember.
since. And he's like, "Oh shit."
And he's
Like,
like, Mr. Clark's like, "Oh no,
Okay.
okay, why'd you say it like that?"
Yeah, she should have
Yeah.
just said. She should have just been like Nancy and was like, "It's bullshit."
That's also the inappropriate time where Callahan like nudges Powell and he's like, "So you
Are they
think
having?
it's
Are
weird?"
they having it?
Oh,
I would rather be so inappropriate. Like,
always.
except for Mr. Clark, who's generally such a nice guy.
I know.
Incorrect
should.
Stranger Things quotes.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
like
Oh, he's
if
funny.
like if we all just like did that and like just said random sayings, had an episode of just random sayings from Stranger Things, like that would be like the best thing ever. Just just say like the big quotes from the show, the one-liners,
Oh no, all these quotes, all these incorrect quotes.
like my personal
Sorry.
favorite is Dr. Brenner in season 4. 11, we must leave. They mean to kill you. Like, yeah. Yeah, we know.
My favorite is when the Demodogs are running away in season 2 in the junkyard, and someone says like, "Oh, maybe they like, wanted to go eat something better, or we scared them or whatever." And Steve goes, "No, they're going somewhere." You don't say.
Yeah.
No. No. We couldn't see that. No.
Going anywhere but
From the same guy that thought Vecna was a clockmaker. So
Yeah.
I mean, at least he has a theory. Like, they make fun of Steve, but no one else is coming up with their own damn theory. Like,
Well, I mean, Dustin, he's, theorizing away.
theorizing, but nobody else is like, I think Vecna's doing this. Like,
Bad ideas lead to
Steve's
good
strong.
ideas. So
You never
I
know.
say it at every film race I do. Every time. Bad ideas lead to good ideas.
I like
Give
that.
him the medicine.
Give him
It's like-
medicine.
I plug that in for everything. Like,
Insert
give
the
him
entire New Coke speech.
Yeah, oh yeah, same.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Okay, I'm gonna age myself like in reverse right now. But who has tried New Coke? Have we tried New Coke? Children of the 80s in this chat? You have.
So they did. I tried the re-release that they did
Okay.
for season 3. Coke did like a box set, and it was cans of the New Coke and then like bottles of like New Coke and Coke Zero, and it was horrible.
Oh.
Yeah. I read that it was so bad, like after it came out in 85, like months later they took it off. Like,
yeah,
they
it didn't last long, which I love
Yeah.
that they threw that in the show just to be like time accurate.
Yes.
Yes.
I just like, because it's the littlest thing. They didn't have to do that, and I'm product placement, obviously, like I get it, but I just thought it was funny because of how like not well received New Coke was back then. From everything you read now, that they had it in there, and everyone seemed to be enjoying it during the show, or like during the course of the show, or at least we're trying to, I guess, because it was like the new thing. Everyone was drinking it.
Thank you. Yeah, I was very curious, and it's funny that you say that because like Marina and I we talked about New Coke at some point. I forget what
We've
what
talked about it
episode-
twice.
Yeah, I forget what episode that was that we did, but we talked about how like the reception was just so bad that they pulled it off the shelves, and then that they brought
Conspiracy
it back.
theories.
Yeah. Oh, the conspiracy theories one. Yeah. And then that they brought it back in that box set, and we speculated like, I bet you a bunch of people bought this and like never actually drank it. So it's good to see someone did.
Yeah, I drank. There was 2 cans. One got dumped, and the other one had 2 sips taken out of it.
Wow, that bad.
But I kept the cans. Obviously, that was the whole reason why I bought it.
Yeah.
But yeah, not that good.
Oh my gosh.
See why it failed.
So one last thing before we go, like, I know this is a very broad question, but how does Stranger Things end? Like, how do you guys think it's going to end? Like, is anything irreparable? Do they have to go back in time to fix stuff? Like, in your minds, what would be the most ideal ending for Stranger Things?
They're gonna pull an end game. They're gonna go back in time and do it. No, I'm kidding. Obviously. No, I think everything will be all right. It'll end in sunshine and rainbows.
So true.
So true.
And Vecna's gonna realize the error of his ways, and he's gonna be like, "I'm sorry." And him and Elle are gonna hug, and everything's fine.
I love this.
Me too.
What I want, and I know, controversial take here. I want the Upside Down and the Mind Flayer to have this whole time been some like type of a prison situation. Vecna kind of imprisoned the creatures in the Upside Down, and I want them to be free. I want them to live free and happy. Get that Mind Flayer out of the aquarium in Russia. Put him back in the Upside Down. Like, I need everybody
back in the
free.
ocean. Back in the ocean it goes.
Everybody free. Vecna handled.
Yes.
Listen,
Yeah.
I said it way back in our podcast season 1. I said it would be kind of interesting if it's like a Mirkwood Greenwood situation, and like it's been under like some sort of spell, and like gets broken.
Yeah.
Like in the way where it's like it's contained, like Vecna gets separated from it and everything goes back under and it gets closed up, like that type deal. That would
Yeah.
be pretty cool, I think. But that'll leave an opening for sequels and stuff, which I don't know. Maybe the Duffers. I think they've said previously like they're not interested in that kind of stuff. But I mean, it'll be interesting to
Well,
see.
they also said they wanted to write an original story set in the world, and then they made a Stranger Things prequel play. So
Yeah.
there's also that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like
It's something they always wanted to do.
yeah.
And then in the trailer today,
I mean,
and
I
then
would
in the
love that.
trailer, yeah,
Like
and then in
original
the trailer,
content.
they were like, yeah, I mean, I know all the people want to speculate, like, they're all going to die, who's going to die, and that would be sad. I mean, that would be sad, but to me, the saddest ending, like, that would really stoke a lot of tears for me would be to see them have a happy ending and, like, hear a voiceover of Hopper or 11 or something, over like a montage of everybody, moving on with their lives and stuff and talking about how, they didn't let everything that happened, destroy their lives and all that. They picked up the pieces. And, to me, this is as much of a coming of age story as anything, about adolescence and how you go through things in that time period of your lives and it's full of change. And basically, like, if they had just saved Hopper's letter at the end of season 3 for the end of season 5, like, I think that would have been like the best ending. Like, that's how I hope it ends. Just ended on a very, bittersweet note that makes you cry, makes you smile. I mean, I would find that much more rewarding than seeing them all be killed off at the end.
Yeah.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I
agree, Ash.
The show deals so much with how do you get past trauma that it would be like that's the challenge before them. So
Oh, true. Yeah.
I agree with that.
In that same vein, I really hope we see Kali again. I would like
Same.
I really want that or I guess I don't know if I want that theory to be true about like the three of them needing to team up, but I just love Kali's character. I think she had a lot of potential that might have been wasted in the episode that she got, but on the note of healing from trauma, I think this could be a very transformative experience for her as well.
Yeah. I like that. I like including her in that. That's great. I like that.
Yeah. I'm really hoping we get like a whole episode. It kind of as like an epilogue, kind of find out where, like, maybe we flash forward to the 90s, find out where everybody wound up, kind of thing. What careers they went on to do, what they want to do with their lives, that kind of thing. Because I know it's kind of the fashion to kill everybody off, but I don't think that would be a satisfying ending either. Like, I think seeing how they deal with their trauma and move forward with their lives is way more interesting from a character perspective than everybody dies. Like, I just don't, but it's been done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Overdone.
Game of Thrones is a thing. Like
let's be real. We're living in a very not awesome timeline right now. So
exactly.
It would be really encouraging to see it end on a slightly more encouraging, uplifting note.
Yeah, and they can make the rest of the season like as dark as they want to, but if we wind up in a good, satisfying, happy place for the characters where they're always going to be changed by what happened, but they find a way to move forward. Like, I think that's the best ending we could hope for.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally.
Yeah. Yep.
Does anybody else have anything they want to add or say?
Yeah, I'd like to see Argyle and Susie's sister Eden get married.
We need a
would be
Stranger
awesome.
Things wedding, and that's the wedding that we need.
Yeah.
No other ships, just them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Star-crossed lovers.
And they can celebrate in their own special way.
Beautiful. Purple palm tree delight.
Yeah, in the van.
Oh, they're all looking around like, where are they? The wedding's about to start. Oh, they're in the van.
The time they show up, all the cake's been eaten.
They could do like they did with the Deathly Hallows, and they could start with a wedding, and then all hell could break loose, like they did in Harry Potter. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Since there's so many
That could be the
parallels.
song. That could be the song that kicks
I was
off
just
in
gonna say
episode
that.
one.
It's
It's
the
the
wedding
wedding
march.
march.
Yeah. A familiar
Oh my
song.
god.
As the trees blow in the wind. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like all in a minor key.
Ew.
Transitions into white wedding. All hell breaks loose.
Wow, that's
Hey,
genius.
white wedding.
It's a good one.
Didn't the second
Little
Fire
Sister.
movie come that way too?
Yeah.
All right, so everyone, thanks again for joining us for the Stranger Things Day 2023 live stream. I know I had a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys, even though we got off to a little bit of a rocky start because of me, but I hope that didn't deter anybody or anybody.
Oh,
in the
you did
chat.
great. You did great.
No, it was good.
Thank you.
This was a blast. Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, maybe one day, whenever the trailer comes out or something, we can do this again, or when season premieres, we can talk about it or something. I don't know when that will be.
I see you in 5
but-
years, everyone.
And the actor strike is still going on.
For SAG's sake, that's not
Amelia's going to be married by that point.
No, seriously though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's entirely
Because
possible.
She's
Yeah.
engaged right now, currently, I think. So.
No, she's engaged, so she could literally be married by the time.
Yeah, she could have kids by the time.
Everyone
goes
could
on.
have kids. Everyone could be married with kids by the time they feel.
Oh, your aunt stuck around to the end. Oh, she's so nice. Your aunt.
Props to your aunt.
My aunt is literally me and Marina's biggest fan on the planet.
Aunt Mary for the
She's so
win.
nice. Y'all should have her on your show sometime. She seems.
We
like
thought
the
about
nicest
it. We
person.
did.
Yeah.
Petition for Aunt Mary.
Yes.
Yeah.
She could come on the next one of these.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. We actually did. We did think about having her as a guest. I gave her some questions that I put in our episode about women in the workplace.
Oh.
Yes, my aunt is a contributor to the podcast.
Right on. Right on.
Yes.
Cute.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Represent.
Oh, bye, Matilda.
Yes.
Thank you all.
All right.
Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bye,
Thanks, everybody.
guys.
Thanks for hanging
Yeah.
out.
Bye,
Oh, fun.
everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Next time we'll have Jacob on here. We'll try to get him on here.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
'Cause,
Sounds good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 You my dudes.
see ya.
And that's our show. If you like what you heard today, be sure to subscribe and tell your friends. Our theme music is provided by Neon Knights, and our sound editing is provided by Ashton Cooper. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ham Radio, a Stranger Things podcast. Please join us next time, same dial, same time.
Over and out.